On February 20th, 1959, the greatest aerospace project in Canadian history, the supersonic interceptor known as the Avro CF-105, Arrow, was abruptly terminated. It was a masterpiece of engineering, a technological marvel that put Canadian aviation years ahead of the rest of the world. Thousands of highly skilled workers at the Malton, Ontario plant had poured their lives into a project that symbolized pure national pride. Yet, almost overnight, the blueprints were destroyed, the magnificent aircraft were dismantled, and the metal was sold for scrap. History remembers this as Black Friday. The sudden cancellation of the Avro Arrow was not merely a casualty of Cold War geopolitics. It stands as a profound macroeconomic lesson. It teaches us a ruthless truth. Even the most perfectly engineered systems and the most valuable assets can slip entirely out of our grasp if we make the wrong strategic decisions at the most critical moments. Today, for Canadians who have crossed the threshold of 55, another massive, lifelong project rests in your hands. It is the architecture of your national retirement benefits. You have spent decades building this foundation, contributing to the economic engine of this country. It is imperative that the fruits of your labor do not become a personal Black Friday. We are navigating an era of unprecedented macroeconomic volatility, inflationary pressures, the shifting dynamics of global trade, and dramatic demographic transitions are fundamentally restructuring the Canadian economic landscape. Yet, amidst this uncertainty, the Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security remain the most steadfast pillars of financial stability. They are the bedrock of dignity and financial independence for the generation that built the modern infrastructure of this nation. Understanding the mathematical and economic architecture of these systems is no longer optional. It is a vital requirement for preserving your wealth. We must look past the superficial financial advice often peddled in mainstream media and deeply analyze the structural realities of the CPP and OA. By applying a rigorous macroeconomic lens rooted in actual data and historical context, we can unlock strategies that maximize every single dollar of your entitlement, protect your hard-earned assets from aggressive taxation, and ensure that your withdrawal strategies align with long-term national stability. To master the timeline of your retirement, we must first examine the structural integrity of the vault that holds your wealth. There is a persistent underlying anxiety among many Canadians that the Canada Pension Plan is somehow running out of money. A misconception that often drives the panicked decision to begin drawing benefits at age 60. This fear is fundamentally disconnected from macroeconomic reality. The Canada Pension Plan Investment Board, or CPPIB, operates as one of the most sophisticated, transparent, and high-performing institutional investors on the global stage. It is distinctly separate from the core federal budget, with assets well over $500 billion. The fund is heavily diversified across essential global infrastructure, real estate, and private equities. Independent actuaries have repeatedly certified that the CPP is fully sustainable for at least the next 75 years. You are not drawing from a depleting well. You are participating in a highly robust sovereign wealth mechanism. Once we establish trust in the system's longevity, the mathematics of when to take your CPP become the ultimate strategic leap. The system is structurally engineered to reward patience. The standard age to begin receiving the Canada Pension Plan is 60. If you choose to initiate your benefits early, at age 60, you incur a permanent reduction of 0.6% for every single month before your 65th birthday. This equates to a staggering 36% permanent loss of your maximum potential benefit. Conversely, if you possess a strong foundation of health and the financial flexibility to delay your CPP until age 70, the system applies a premium. Your benefit increases by 0.7% for every month you delay past 60. That is an increase of 42%. When you compare taking the benefit at age 60 versus age 70, the deferred option more than doubles your guaranteed inflation-indexed monthly cash flow. Actuarial data consistently demonstrates that average life expectancies for Canadians are pushing well into the mid. If your family history and personal health suggest longevity, deferring the CPP to age 70 provides the highest net present value of any guaranteed investment available. More importantly, it creates an impenetrable shield against future inflation. A maximized CPP benefit at age 70 acts as the ultimate fixed income anchor, allowing you to take more calculated, growth-oriented risks with your personal investment portfolios. While the CPP is built upon your lifelong contributions, Old Age Security operates on a fundamentally different philosophy. To understand OAS, we must look to the historical legacy of another great national institution, Canada Post. Decades ago, braving fierce blizzards and traversing impossible terrain, the Royal Mail Carriers ensured that a pensioner in a remote Northern Territory received the exact same level of service as a resident of downtown Toronto. The Postal Service was the ultimate equalizer, an unbreakable covenant of universal access and national unity. Old Age Security carries that exact same spirit. It is funded directly through general tax revenues, representing a dividend paid by the nation to its citizens and long-term residents, simply for their enduring presence and contribution to the social fabric of the country. However, just as Canada Post has been forced to agonizingly restructure its operations in the face of digital transformation and crushing logistical costs, the federal government has had to implement macroeconomic safeguards to sustain the universal OAS system. This safeguard is known as the OAS recovery tax, universally feared by retirees as the OAS. This is the single most dangerous financial trap for the middle and upper middle class. If your net world income, which includes your company pensions, RIF withdrawals, taxable capital gains, and dividend income surpasses a specific threshold, the government begins to aggressively claw back your OAS at a rate of 15 cents on every excess dollar. Once you hit the upper maximum threshold, your entire OAS benefit is completely wiped out. Navigating this threshold requires the precision of a master tech. You must view your income streams not as isolated accounts, but as a unified, fluid, macroeconomic system. A common, devastating mistake is leaving massive registered retirement savings plans untouched until age 70. When the government forces their conversion into a RRIF, the subsequent mandatory minimum withdrawals can artificially inflate your taxable income, thrusting you directly into the OAS clawback zone. The countermeasure is a strategic RRSP meltdown. By deliberately drawing down your RRSP balances during your early effectively flatten your lifetime tax curve. You'll reduce the massive tax bomb of a large RRIF later in life, and simultaneously secure the integrity of your OAS benefits when they activate at age 60. You are essentially shifting your tax burden to a period where it serves your overarching strategic goals. This level of optimization requires a seamless integration of all your available tools. The Canadian Tax Code, while complex, offers powerful mechanisms for those willing to study its architecture. Pension income splitting is one of the most effective methods to achieve equilibrium. If there is a significant disparity in retirement income between you and your spouse, legally reallocating up to 50% of eligible pension income can dramatically lower your household's marginal tax rate. It keeps both partners safely below the OAS clawback threshold, preserving the wealth within the walls of your own home rather than surrendering it back to the state. Furthermore, the tax-free savings account must be recognized for what it truly is: an unparalleled wealth preservation vehicle. Unlike RRSPs, capital growth and withdrawals from a TFSA are completely invisible to the Canada Revenue Agency when calculating your taxable income. A withdrawal of $50,000 from a TFSA does not trigger a single cent of OAS clawback. By strategically transitioning taxable, non-registered assets into your TFSA over time, you build a stealth reserve of liquidity. This reserve allows you to fund large, unexpected expenses in retirement, a new vehicle, a roof repair, or a medical necessity without artificially spiking your income and jeopardizing your government benefits. We must also align our personal portfolios with the broader geopolitical and macroeconomic realities. Canada is inherently a resource-driven economy. We are global leaders in strategic minerals, energy, and financial services. Understanding these macro trends allows you to structure your dividend-paying investments and cyclical assets in a way that complements your stable government pensions. When you delay your CPP and secure your OAS, your reliance on the volatile stock market diminishes. You are no longer forced to sell equities during a market downturn to fund your daily living expenses. Instead, your investments have the runway to recover, compound, and ultimately transfer as a lasting legacy to the next generation. The story of the Avro Arrow reminds us that monumental achievements require vision, flawless execution, and the courage to make bold decisions. The blueprint of your retirement demands nothing less. The wealth you have generated over the last 4 decades is a testament to your resilience and your contribution to the economic sovereignty of this nation. Transitioning into retirement is not a retreat. It is a promotion to the role of a capital allocator. You are now the Chief Financial Officer of your own legacy. By understanding the structural strength of the CPP-IB, optimizing the mathematics of deferral, preemptively neutralizing the and utilizing every tax-advantaged mechanism at your disposal, you transform uncertainty into absolute control. What is the precise age you are targeting to trigger your CPP benefits? And how have recent macroeconomic shifts influenced your strategic timeline? The dialogue around these critical financial decisions shapes the collective wisdom of our generation. Please share your perspectives and strategies in the comment section below, as this exchange of intellect is invaluable. If this deep macroeconomic analysis has provided clarity and fortified your financial blueprint, engage the like button to support the algorithmic reach of this research and ensure you subscribe to the channel. We will continue to dissect the complex intersections of Canadian history, global economics, and personal sovereignty. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your enduring contribution to this country. Stand firm in your strategy and build a legacy that lasts.